I don't create things to be consumed. I hope it transcends time, transcends boundaries, transcends cultures. Music can change the world. Those are the words of Tunisian-born, New York-based artist, producer, activist Emel, who joins us on the SWOMP podcast today. Emel, how's it going?
Very well. Everything is great.
Excellent. So I was really compelled by your words that I read when I was prepping for our chat today. So, about how music can transcend boundaries and culture and change the world. So maybe expand on that a little bit and describe how you seek to achieve that through your artistry and through your music.
I think that we're all trying to find purpose in everything that we do. And to me specifically, having grown up in Tunisia under dictatorship, being a woman, I had a lot on my plate. So I had so many things I wanted to change. And I think from the very first tunes that I started hearing, I felt the power that music had over me. And I figured that if I could have a positive impact, just like other artists really armed me as I was growing up, then that would be just the most beautiful quest and purpose. And that's just how it started and continued to this day.
That really inspired you to start this kind of a career in music. That stayed with you all the way throughout?
Yes. I've never envisioned music without a purpose. The only lens I see music through is power and faith and hope and inspiration. I feel that music can accomplish so much. It'll be like such a shame to not use it.
Absolutely. So, and speaking of music, you just released a brand new album last year. So maybe describe that to me. I listened to a few of the songs on the album, and it's a lot of different genres kind of blended together, right?
Yes. I think I've always, growing in Tunisia, I think by default makes us really eclectic because we're in this small country. We're in Africa, but we're also very close to other Mediterranean countries and very close to Europe. We have a very eclectic past of so many different kinds of people that came through. And also, I grew up with a lot of different inspirations. I grew up with classical music. I discovered metal when I was a teenager. So, I don't know, like I've always felt it supernatural to go from Pink Floyd to John Baez to Celine Dion to Fairuz. I feel that music is freedom by default, by definition. So I find it always interesting when the music industry always tries to put names and put limitations because we can't put music in a box. Mm-hmm. Music is, like a sky, like the universe. It's so infinite and large.
Absolutely. And maybe talk to me a little bit about the title of the album, which means woman in Arabic. So, but it's much more than a title of an album, I guess, right? It's very much a theme throughout this album as well, right?
Yeah, it's definitely more than an idea. It was like a whole quest. Like I kind of felt frustrated that it's always on the production side, it's always mainly male, and I just started asking myself, is it a domain where just guys happen to be better and smarter? And then I just thought, no, that doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. It's just the way the industry and the business have been shaping things. A lot of the times we women are left at a disadvantage in everything, basically. And when I perform on stage, I like to say that we're the most oppressed majority of all time. So to me, my way of doing something was to offer my platform and share it with many other women and just do a completely female album. And what's crazy to me is that I learned as I was doing it that no one's ever done a 100% woman-made album before.
No kidding, right?
And and I think I wanted to be that extreme because I wanted to show how ridiculous things are, and because most of the time it's just guys only. So what I've noticed in my career is that guys hire guys.
Right.
I mean, it's just what it is. And then women also hire guys. So therefore we end up with these very alarming numbers, statistics in headlining, in festival headlinings, and music production and music man. So the only way to make the the discussion bigger and like put more seats at the table for women.
That shouldn't be an extreme thing that you've done, but you know what I mean, this day and age, but
exactly.
it should not be the case.
Exactly.
But good for you for taking charge and making a statement with that.
Thank you. I do believe that we all have a responsibility to do something, something. And this is what I felt that I was able to do. And I thought that no thing is a small thing, no action is a small action. And I felt really comforted in my journey and my choice every time I reached out to a collaborator, every time I reached out to a creative person, a woman. I felt that it resonated a lot. It felt really reassuring to not be alone in thinking what I was thinking.
And you're going to be joined by a bunch of these collaborators and other women and other artists when you come to Canada here next month. April 5th, you're going to be playing the TD Music Hall in Toronto. What can fans expect when you come over to Canada?
It's going to be my first time in Canada since a long time, I think, and the first time with this album, for sure. So it's very exciting. There's a beautiful community of artists that I connected with the last few years, the last few months. So I'm inviting Ostra actually to join me on stage. I've been a huge fan, and we connected on Instagram lately. I'm going to also invite Nida, who is a Persian singer. In Montreal, I'll invite Naya, who's a Montreal-based rapper. It's going to be just as eclectic as me, and the album as deep and powerful as everything that I've always done.
Constantly collaborating, and it's great that the fans in Toronto will be able to see some of those collaborations and across all your shows in Canada. I wanted to ask you too, like, speaking of collaborations, throughout your career, obviously lots of collaborating, musically, but you've made some collaborations and partnerships through fashion as well, right?
Yes, I think artists used to collaborate a lot in the 60s and the 70s. It was almost like there were real communities. So nowadays it's a little bit less that. So I try to reach out. I try to surround myself like in theater. There's music. It's cinematic. There's light. There's the art. So therefore the fashion element is extremely important because also it dictates how I'm feeling. Like when I'm getting ready before the show, I don't feel the same as once I'm ready and wearing whatever, it's almost like an armor,
Art is all tied together, and definitely music and fashion go hand in hand. Before I let you go here, Emel, looking back in 2010, you had a song that was banned, but basically it turned into kind of a protest anthem. So maybe talk about that a little bit for me.
I started writing protest songs as soon as I really started writing my own songs. And Centquatre was probably a very important moment in my songwriting. To me, I was always fueled and passionate by the desire of freedom and, freeing the people and revolution against, all the dictators. And the song is a tribute to that. We're all getting together, we're going in the streets, and we're going to save ourselves and save the land, So this is what Centquatre is about, and it's a lot about people's power, because every dictatorship is just trying to strip people of their power. It's all about that. So I think music, and specifically this song, just gives the power back, and I'm really I was really thrilled at the song, because it's not like a very easy song,
Mm-hmm.
There's the verses are complex, and it goes up and down. More powerful to me that when songs really speak to the heart and speak to the depth of each one of us, to our most humane side, I feel that it connects us from wherever we are.
Absolutely. Well, we're really excited to hear Emel bringing her music and her artistry and her power to Canada. And once again, she's playing the TD Music Hall in Toronto on April 5th. Emel, thank you very much for taking the time with us today.
Oh, thank you.